This is your third year in the league and the first time that you've accomplished something that's just been announced today. What was it you've accomplished and how did they tell you?
I got a call from Lisa Borders, and she congratulated me for being the 2018 MVP.
What did you think when you heard that?
I was excited. I was more excited than normal. Obviously, Lisa doesn't call me often, so when she does, it's usually good news. But, it's something that's new for me and a goal that I've had since I came into the league. And this means that this year was the best and the best for me individually and our team.
I remember talking to you just a few days before the season started.
Yep.
And, you are one of the most accomplished players in history in the NCAA tournament. But you haven't been a consistent winner in the WNBA.
Right.
And that bothered you. Why did that bother you?
It bothered me because losing isn't my norm. It's not my normal. And it was something that was really hard to kind of grasp, especially my first 2 years here in Seattle. We had losing records, and it was an uncomfortable place for me. So now to get back to where we are, 26-8, still more losses than I would like, but a lot better position going forward.
What did you change with yourself, and what did you commit to before the season started that has led to an MVP season?
I think I changed a lot of things. I think, looking back to the end of last season, 2017, I knew that this year was going to be different. This upcoming year was going to be different. The way that I handled myself overseas in China, being healthy throughout the whole season, that helped. But then coming home, having some extra time to work out with Sue and Jewel, and I kind of followed in Sue's footsteps. She works with a special woman, Susan Borchard, and I wanted to do what she does to kind of create that longevity and, put myself in the best position possible to be the best.
You're a young person, but you were already worried about your body and your health.
Right.
So what did you change with your body?
I changed lots of things. I think, when you think of getting better, you always think of, I need to go hard every time. I need to go hard when I do this. I need to work out and be like dying, really tired, sweating. And it kind of opened my eyes to some things, and it's like, no, like sometimes you need to like recover your body and rest your body and like take a step back and do yoga and do Pilates and like make sure you're eating the right things, providing nutritionally for yourself and that type of thing. And it kind of expanded my thoughts on everything and really made me focus in on how to take care of myself, and then that helps on the basketball court more than you actually think.
So you've had a special season. You broke Lauren Jackson's franchise scoring record in a single season. You've had 22 20-point games or more, 5 30-point games or more. Besides this physical piece and this mental piece, what is it you've put together?
I think just kind of getting back on the right track. Like you said, it's been a successful year, but it needed to be. It needed to be for me. I needed to get this team and this franchise back in a winning position, and, had to leave it all on the court and just really be aggressive. Breaking records and scoring points and everything like that is great, but if we're not winning, then, it doesn't mean a lot.
I feel like you're very calm about this. Well, I just want you to take me inside. Were you in your kitchen? Where were you when she tells you you're the MVP? I just want a picture of what that moment was like.
So she called me at 9 a.m. So I was like sleeping. And the only reason I was awake was because I had to do something at my house. And I think she could tell on the phone, like, I just woke up. Like, it was like your just wake up voice. And I was really excited, but at the same time, I felt like I put myself in a position to win MVP. And I don't know, I think once the season's over, it's kind of like, it's wow. Some of my friends that I've talked to and just been like, this is going to be a big year for me leading up to 2018. And now to be like, I did it, we did it, and now we're not finished.
As successful as you have been in your career, you never lost in the playoffs in the NCAA.
Right.
Never.
Right.
You've never won
I know.
a WNBA game. How does that change?
The basketball gods, they had to humble me a little bit in my first 2 years. But I think this is a different situation. You know, we were in the single elimination game both times that we were in the playoffs before, and that's really tough because it is do or die. Playing in a series is going to be a lot different just because it's best out of 5, and you know, not one game is gonna win it all or lose it all, and it's how we consistently win 3 games out of 5.
You're still very young in your WNBA career, but I feel like you have already found a voice for yourself. You know, from the first moment you're at the ESPYs, just out of college, finding your voice and saying, hey, look at us, the protests at LAX. Why have you found your voice on the court and off the court so easily as a young person?
Just things that matter to me, that matter to the people that I'm around, and I've realized that the position that I put myself in, I have a platform to really speak and have an audience of people who will listen, and the subjects I'm speaking on, whether it was the ESPYs or my personal story, that type of thing, it's relatable to a lot of people, and not just relatable because people are athletes or basketball players or anything like that, but it affects everyone, and it's going to hopefully help them more than what I'm doing on the basketball court.
You talk about your story, and just a few days before this season started, for the very first time publicly on camera, you talked about being the survivor of sexual assault.
Yeah.
How did you do that just days before the season and then come out and have a career high and balance these two very different things in your life?
Honestly, it was a lot. You know, it was a lot going on, and it definitely was hard for me to talk about, especially on camera, just because, you know, it was an uncomfortable thing. You know, I put myself in a vulnerable position, and it's just hard to relive those type of situations. But I knew that once my story was out there from the Players Tribune in October, that I wanted to have something follow suit just to give people a little bit better insight of my life and more detailed about my story, and it was a big deal. I have not watched the E60 still, just because it'll be a lot of emotions for that for me, but I've heard great things, and I think it'll help a lot more people than if I wasn't to tell my story.
So now you've added this piece of activist, survivor,
Right.
MVP. What are you proud of the most of everything that you're building in your life?
The thing I'm most proud of is, I think, just the way that I've handled this year as a whole. You know, from October to now, it just kind of making sure that everything I wanted to do, I did. Telling my story, sharing my story, really being open about it. And then when season came, just kind of playing and really having a weight lifted off my chest that I didn't know I had, and just going forward and trying to be the best.
The weight being lifted from you, that's hard to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you feel that it's...
Yeah, no. I think this year was definitely one of the best years of my life. Just the way that I've handled things and kind of being strong and letting people come into my story, into my life.
You have a program you're working with, and they've done these shirts, Stronger Than Ever, but then it also says Stronger Than Everything.
Yeah.
Why are you so strong? You've come through a lot.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I think that, you know, people go through certain situations to kind of test them and to see how strong they are and the type of strength that they have. And, you know, people have gone through worse things in life than me, that's for sure. And it's just how I'm handling it. You know, I don't want to let the bad situations make a situation worse. You know, I want to make the best out of it, and to show people that, you know, I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. It's it's weird for me to say, first of all, but it shows that, things that happen to you in your life, you can't let them affect the rest of your life. It's how you move forward from it.
You have lived a big life this year. I think back to, you fly and surprise your mom as she graduates from college and give her a car. And,
yeah.
You have lived this really joyful life while doing a great job on the basketball court. How have you maintained your focus in every way?
I think I just maintained my focus just by kind of understanding what I want to do. I want to be the best on the basketball court, so that takes a lot, and that takes a lot of preparation, and both physically and mentally. But then at the same time, I want to be able to do things to make other people happy around me. And like you said, surprising my mom at her graduation, giving her a car, that type of thing. And even little things with my friends. This is something that everyone's helped me get to this point, and everyone deserves to kind of share some of that and reap the benefits of it.
What else do you want to be in a basketball sense? You're so new in your career.
Right.
Year 3.
Year 3. Can you believe it? I'm old. First of all,
you're a baby.
I'm about to be old.
You're about to be old. But what else is there for you?
Yeah.
What are the goals?
I mean, there's so many goals. Obviously, winning a championship. That's something that still has yet to be done, and hopefully will be done as soon as possible. But once you do something, once you win MVP, once you win a championship, winning it once isn't good enough. Then it's like, all right, how many times can I do this throughout my entire career? And just kind of getting back to the winning. Obviously it was there at UConn, and the past 2 years has been a little bit of a struggle, but getting back to that point and putting myself and this team at the top and maintaining that.
You have the best record in the league. You have every opportunity to make that happen this season. But you have a veteran, difficult Phoenix Mercury team in front of you with Diana Taurasi, one of the all-time greats.
Yep.
What will it take in a series against Phoenix?
Honestly, I think, to beat Phoenix in a series, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of preparation. And I think on our part, we have to play our game. Obviously, Phoenix has a team, like you said, veteran leadership, a lot of playoff experience. But we need to just stay focused on what we need to do. Obviously, know our assignments and our scout, but go out and play our game. And, let Key Arena help us kind of get over that hump.
Sue Bird is the oldest player in the league. I know she's so sick of hearing people say that, right?
Yeah.
She's also never been playing like she's playing now.
Right.
What sense of urgency is there to win a championship with Sue, with this piece that she has created?
Right. I think for me, when I think about winning a championship, that's the number one priority is, Sue's not in a rush to leave or to finish her career or anything like that. But, I want to experience that with her. We've won gold medals and world championships and that type of thing, but to win a WNBA championship, not only does she deserve it and does she deserve to kind of have that put on her resume, but I want to do it with her just because she's the best. She's
had a great influence. You talked a little bit earlier, but she's had a great influence on you. How has she changed you?
Sue has changed me in a lot of different ways. I think she's helped me in probably more ways than I'll even know how to kind of say. But on the court, obviously, what she does is the best. How she prepares herself as the best. And just being a sponge to that, kind of copying her in any way I can. And then off the court, the same thing. She's been outspoken on certain things, and even though our subject lines are different, just having that support, having someone who's in your corner like that makes things a lot easier, and she gets it.
When you look back at your career, you've been one of the all-time great winners. Yeah. What is inside of you that drives you to be the winner that you are?
just being really competitive. That's what drives me. That's what makes me a winner is I can't stand to lose. And whether I'm playing basketball or cards or any other game, I want to win. And even if it's, everything's on the line or nothing's on the line, it's just a matter of if I'm playing, then I'm playing to win.
I remember this story we did when we were in college about you would go out in your cul-de-sac and walk around the streets of your neighborhood with the ball in your hand every day for how many days?
Yeah, every day, yeah.
So that little girl is now on the cusp of her first WNBA championship. To take me through, in your mind, thoughts you had during that time, that kid dribbling around to now. Yeah. What are some of the same thoughts and what's different?
I think, looking back to me when I was dribbling around the block when I was younger, I was doing it for a reason. I don't know if I knew exactly what the reason was that I was kind of preparing myself for, but in that moment I wanted to be the best. And when I started, I didn't know I was going to go to UConn. I didn't know I was going to win 4 national championships. I didn't know that, now I was going to be in the WNBA and win MVP in my 3rd year. But, it's that type of kind of attitude and mentality that I was working on my game. And there was a reason for it. And, looking back, it's definitely, it makes sense. That's for sure. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be better when I was 13, just like I want to be better when I'm 23.
And lastly, before we wrap things up, I just wonder, why do you love basketball? I remember you telling me you used to call in sick to school. Yeah. On the first days of the NCAA basketball tournament when you were a little kid. Mm-hmm. Your parents would let you call in sick. Yeah. Why basketball? Why always this passion inside of you?
I think, ever since I was kind of introduced to basketball, it became something that I fell in love with. I think it also became an outlet in a lot of ways, just the way that, it was kind of like my safe space. And, I don't think I realized that as much as until this year when I started to really be outspoken about, my story and that type of thing. But I love it because I love to compete. I love to have fun. Some of my best friends have been created through basketball. And, if I'm not playing, then I want to watch. NCAA tournament watch parties, and just really being involved in the game.
Going forward, do we now have to call you the MVP at every chance? Are you still Stewie, or do we now address you as MVP?
I'm still Stewie. I want, okay, MVP, I got it, but you can still call me Stewie, for sure.
I'm just checking the protocol.